Thing to do is to open up Photoshop. What we're going to do first is to edit some images just using some simple techniques. So open, I've got a folder on the desktop, Photoshop training. I'll choose my image. Okay, here it is. So we've got the layer name. It's actually locked. If you wanted to unlock that, you would just double click it. It's always a good habit to get into to name the layer appropriately, so we could call this one Mr. Richards, and once I've double clicked it, it's now unlocked, which means I can make a few changes. First thing we notice is Mr. Meredith's got his eyes closed. Apart from that, we might want to crop out this area here, so we can use the crop tool. So you select that, go ahead and crop the section you want. Okay, so once we're happy with that, we've got basically a tick to confirm or undo. So let's confirm that. Useful tool is Command plus and Command minus, which to zoom in and zoom out. So I'll just drag this out. Command plus to zoom in. In some instances, you might want to change the adjustments. If it's not very bright or it's too bright or the colors aren't very saturated, you can change them in here. So image, adjustments, brightness will just allow you to change the brightness of the image. Okay, sometimes it's too dark or too bright. Let's cancel that. Image, adjustments. The other one you might want to have a look at is the saturation. We don't really need it on this image, but you can actually push up the colors. Quite useful if you've got something like a beach scene or a swimming pool and you want to put more blues. We can actually click on that and it will bring us all the different colors in there. Okay, so if I was to push up the reds, okay, you can see what it does. So I'm not going to do anything there, I don't need it. So again, that was an image, adjustments, and you can play around with it. You could also change it to black and white if you wanted. So again, same thing, image, adjustments, black and white. Right, that'll change it to black and white. I'm going to cancel that. Something else you might be interested in is the filter. So filter, again, some are useful, some not so useful. Liquify, the students love that. You can just basically liquify sections of a photograph or an image. I'm just going to go ahead and choose artistic, paint daubs. So what we can do over here is, as you can see, it's actually changed it into a painting. So I'm going to push the brush size down and put the sharpness. Okay, so it's now turned Mr. Richards into a painting. And again, I can zoom in on there. If at any point you make a mistake, you can do Command Z, which will undo. Or if you make lots of mistakes, you can go over to this thing called Window, History, and you can actually just slide up over here and undo everything you've just done. Alright, so that is in Window, History. Last thing I might want to consider is to get rid of this thing. It looks kind of like an apple on his head. Two ways I could do that. In fact, there's many ways, but I'll show you possibly two of the easiest ways. There's a thing on here called Quick Selection, right? And that's the brush size. So the bigger the brush, the more area you will select. So I could go ahead and just select the bits that I want to get rid of. Alright, and then I'm just going to hit delete on my keyboard. So that bit, and you'll see that they delete the bits that I want. Okay, I'm going to undo that for the moment, so I'll show you something else. Again, I can go back by using the history. Let's go back up to There. Okay. The other thing you might want to do is there's something called a clone stamp tool, which is quite useful. When you click it, it will say you need to define a source point, and you do that by pressing Option click. So I'm going to press Option click. I'm going to use this as my source point, and I want to use that source point, that color, to color over the top of that. So Option click, and you can see it's now using this area over here to get rid of that. Alright,